What's up, world? This is WeNeeda5th. This your man Mo. Got my man Hill in the building.
Yo, what's good, yo?
Got my man P in the building. Back in the studio, fellas. NBA offseason has officially begun. We're seeing some moves as far as free agency and signings. I want to talk about a couple of teams in this offseason period that are really in some interesting positions. I want to start off with the elephant in the room, Paul George with the LA Clippers. LA Clippers have a couple of free agents that they're going to have to deal with. Paul George, James Harden, I believe Russell Westbrook also. What do you think? Right now, the stories are saying that Clippers offered him basically the Kawhi deal. 3 years, I think $150 million.
It's nice.
You know what I mean? But it's not the full max.
Still nice.
It is not. It's a somewhat of a discount. I think Paul George is looking for more years in the full max. So he's going into free agency, testing out his options. For the team, what do you think their stance should be with him as far as how far they're willing to go?
I think you want to try to. I definitely think you want to try to retain him. I don't know how you replace that talent, but if it looks like both sides won't come to an agreement, if he wants that money, I guess that the best thing to do is if I give him the money and sign a trade, right? I mean, what are you gonna get?
Yeah, if they offer him the same amount as Kawhi, I think that's fair.
Right.
I understand from his viewpoint. No, I want the most I could get. It's business. So from a basketball standpoint, I agree. You want to keep Paul George. Whatever you want to say about him, there's not many players on his level that's available.
And maybe I should ask the question differently in the sense, should the Clippers think of Paul George as that piece that they're missing to take the next step as far as being a championship contender?
No, they got him.
Yeah,
they can't say he's missing. He's been there for 4 years. So I think health is what they're missing. You have Paul George, James Harden, and Kawhi Leonard. Mm-hmm. I think you just have to be healthy. Of course you always could, get players off the bench, role plays, whatever, but you have your core. So I don't think
it gets better than that.
I think the question is, do they think this team can win a championship?
Yeah,
and I think they can. They pose a threat to any team. They just can't stay healthy, and I don't know how you can compensate for that.
Do you, with that in mind, do you take the risk and pay the money with the hopes that you can eventually find a way to stay healthy?
Yeah, and you have, if not the richest owner in the league, that's willing to probably do so. Yeah, sure. It depends if Paul wants to stay. There might be a better opportunity. Not financially. I think Clippers are the only one that can pay him that much, right?
No.
He's a free agent, but I think you can pay more as your team, though, if they retain him.
The bird rights.
Yeah, right.
I think the question is, I don't think
they're willing to do that.
They're willing to do that. They're not willing to pay the max amount. So, in a sense, he can get more with another team because, hey, the Clippers aren't willing to go all the way with him.
Well, then, if they're okay with him just walking, then that's fine. But from a compensation standpoint, that you had him, I would think you would try to at least try to kill two birds with one stone and maybe just sign him for what he thinks is and then sign him to a team. You're going to lose him anyway. Get some compensation for him.
Okay, you're saying
just give him his money.
Do a sign and trade.
Right, give him his money.
Like I said, I wouldn't go above what you gave Kawhi. If it comes to that, he's like, I'm not resigning if I don't get that extra year. Then I think you have to do a sign and trade because then I think you have both for the both worlds. You have to keep Kawhi, you possibly keep James Harden, and then you can bring in some younger talent. You know what I mean? So I think you keep that core, well, most of that core, which you got to get an infusion of some different talent in there. You know what I mean?
The question after that is, once he leaves and you're not going to match his talent, of course, and you're going to get younger, you're blowing it up, right?
Well, Kawhi has, 2 more years on this thing?
Yeah.
which will equate to maybe a third of a year, maybe if it, with health wise, if he plays with 2
Right.
years.
I'm not a proponent of blowing it up.
Right.
Because the Detroit Pistons blew it up. Portland Trailblazers blew it up. They had Drew Holiday, let him go. See where they're at now. So I'm not a proponent of blowing it up. I'm leaning towards if Paul George doesn't like the numbers that I give him, sign and trade and get some picks and some young talent. And like I said, so it's not completely blowing up, but it's like, like I said, you're infusing some young talent with Kawhi and James Harden possibly.
And the wink, wink push he's probably looking at, as you saw on TV, Philly would be perfect for him.
Yeah.
What young talent outside? Maxey's untouchable. So what do you want out of
for
Philly?
me, that deal just would not work.
Okay. Okay.
It just wouldn't work.
Right.
Once you say Maxey's off the table, then I need to hang up the phone. It's nothing to talk about.
80 picks for the next some years? No.
And the thing is with that, like I assume Philly's going to be good.
Right.
So the picks, I don't want the 28th, 27th pick. That's not going to help me. I have that now.
Yeah.
Now let me flip the question. As far as the player is concerned, what do you think Paul George's stance should be? Should he, be what people are perceiving what he's doing now is trying to leverage other teams against the Clippers to force their hand to give him the money that he wants? And his ideal situation would be, he stays home in LA and remains a Clipper. Or do you think that, he should honestly take a look at the free agent market and look at what teams are out there that could fit with him and give him the best chance to succeed?
He never struck me as like a title chasing guy. I think he enjoys like his position. Like, I'm home.
And to be fair to him, the last interview I heard from him, he did state what you just said. It's not so much about chasing a championship.
Comfortability.
It's just about, a place where he can fit and play the right way.
Right. So I like that,
you
though.
said.
Like, I know Pete's going to look
at
another way, but I like that. Like, it's just, I'm getting all the bounties of this blessing, which is the NBA. And around circles, I'm known as one of the best talents in the league. Other people outside, okay, I'm not as good as you think I am. But I have so many things going on for myself right now. I'm podcasting. I have about $56 million a year that I'll get off of this. I'm okay with that. I'm a playboy out here. I'm chilling. For some people, the holy grail of a championship is not everything.
Yeah. Some people, just being a professional basketball player and a millionaire and someone that has the freedom to do what he's able to do is enough.
Because I think it's for me. A championship is for y'all. I think it's just one of those plays. Like, I'm not that hungry to be that competitive to that level, which is, all right, forget all of this Mamba mentality and things of that nature. It's just he fits in his spot. I know it sounds crazy, but you play this game to win, and then there's just some that say, listen, I enjoy playing the game.
Yeah.
P, what's going on over there?
I
see
like
you.
that, man. I do.
It's
not us. It's not us.
It's a lot to unpack. With
right.
It. This off top, I'm a Paul George fan. Y'all know that, and I don't want to discredit him and say, he does, because I think we're not saying he doesn't love the game
at all,
or like the game.
At all, and he's very competitive.
You can't be that good and not like basketball. Like, so I don't want to come off by saying that. And it's just so many thoughts in my head, because I know you was talking about Jason Tatum and the Mamba mentality. Well, Paul George should get the same treatment because Kobe is his guy, right? What I've come to grips in the past year or two is like certain players are just not alphas, number one, for championship teams. Sometimes you can say it's luck, your team, your general manager, or whatever. Sometimes it's just mentality. And I'm looking at Paul George. It's like, you know what? He's probably a number 2 or 3 on a championship team.
A happy, dominant 3, too. Like a really happy 3. Like, I'm fine with it.
If I'm a GM, sign me up. I'll take Paul George. I think he's an excellent basketball player. Skill, plays both. He does everything at least good. At least good. Like, he has no real glaring weakness in his game at all.
And I think, especially with us as a group, it's going to be unfair to Paul George as far as, putting him in that alpha position because of hey, the players that we know are the alphas or the greats that we consider greats are in that because
like I said, Kobe is his guy.
But
It gets no more alpha than that.
Right.
But my thing is, hey, it's not like he said, hey, Kobe is the reason why I started playing basketball.
No, he told Kobe, there's a new sheriff in town. He basically told Kobe, I'm taking over the league. Kobe laughed at him, but nah, I can't give him a pass on that one. If you're gonna kill Tatum and the other guys, I think you got to do the same to Paul George.
Which we call it. Part of the reason why I get on Tatum about that is because, hey, he's gone out on the record and said, hey, I modeled my game after him.
Paul George did too. He wore number 24. He began his career wearing number 24 because of Kobe. And, you know what I mean? All I'm gonna say, it should be even. Whatever you think of Paul George, what they can Tatum, but to me, they both idolize Kobe. They both, I guess, subscribe, if you believe it or not, to the Mamba mentality thing, which I think is
and my thing is, hey, with an interview like he just did and with what he just said, that's not Mamba mentality.
Well, I don't think none of them have Mamba mentality.
Right. So
you don't have to, I'm going off what I see and not what they tell me. You could tell me you have Mamba mentality all day, but then when it's time to work out, you in the club, I don't care. You know what I mean?
But I think he's content with that. You know what I'm saying? I think to me, he clearly has alpha talent, but he doesn't want to take it to alpha level. And for whatever reason, whether he can't or he doesn't choose to, I strike it both as lazy. Because I think there's another level he can go to. When he was going back and forth with LeBron James, and I don't know, I thought when it came, he broke at times. I can't think of what game it was where he took a slight back seat to LeBron, which I thought they should have been head to head. Because I think he has, personally, I think he has a better offensive bag than LeBron James. So it should have been a little bit more competitive. Indiana had their series in which, you thought it was, all right, he's going to take that next step. He didn't. And then he decided at that point, I'm going to try to be the next best number 2 to somebody else. Then it went to, I'm going to be the most dominant 3. Yeah. I don't know why that he tiered that way. He dominates any 3. He dominates any 2. He should be on a 1 status. But he always succumbs to, whether it be Westbrook, whether it be Kawhi. You know what I mean? You should be that guy.
He doesn't have just, in general, the mentality to be a number 1, to be a leader. You know what I mean? Kudos for him. I didn't hear the interview that you guys are talking about, but for his honesty, I give him kudos for his honesty. But just as a basketball fan, I see the skill there. It's undeniable.
It's frustrating. It's frustrating.
It's frustrating. So Hill says, I think he should be a number 1 franchise player instead of now, at this point, maybe bouncing from team to team, trying to catch a ride to a chip.
Dude should be top 3 player in the league. He should be top 3 player in the league.
He's that skilled to me. He's almost I always rave Penny Grant Hill back in the day, which is next. He's kind of them with a better jump shot. Mm-hmm. If you look at Grant Hill, if he could shoot, he would be Paul George. Mm-hmm. And that's a high. Because I although he's from Duke, I hold Grant Hill to a high level with basketball wise, just talent wise. So.
And then whatever you think, and I put it whatever you think of Kyrie, he's right underneath with handle wise. So it's he has everything you can put together. And defense, he's no slouch. He's taking a step back.
To your point, if Kyrie's the most skilled player in the NBA, I think Paul George might be the second most skilled player, but he's a better defensive. So you can make the argument he's just a better player than Kyrie when you put defense into the mix. So
and it's so frustrating to see him be the third option on these because and PG, I'm a big fan. You're my guy. Mm-hmm. But to see you not take that step is the reason why I if you want to say take a shot, I take a shot, but in a positive way because I want you to dominate. That's the reason why I say it that way.
So it sounds to me and y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, for y'all, the number 1 player options on a team has to be someone where, hey, the losses affect him more than the wins, in the sense that, hey, and because I feel like PG with that statement he was saying was hey, me losing a championship or not being able to obtain a championship doesn't break me, or you know what I mean, or doesn't define me. and I think for a player like Michael Jordan or Kobe, they would say, hey, I would have a problem with not having the championship.
I think they would sick to their stomach if they had his. Well, those two are just, they're ultimate talented players in my book.
They're maniacal.
Right.
Right. And you know what? What it is I don't think that's Paul George's top priority. Like you alluded to earlier. I think Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, their top priority is to win a championship. Jordan was chasing Bird and Magic. You know what I mean? So when he got one, that was cool. But I know Bird has 3, Magic has 5. Same thing with Kobe. He was chasing down Jordan. You know what I mean? Like when he did the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know what I mean? So some players, that's not their top priority. And no, I'm not saying it's wrong, whatever, but that's just what it is.
Do you think that all the established superstars that we have in the league, that's their top priority? Like, hey, a Joker, a Giannis. Who else?
It's hard to say because a lot of it would be revisionist, right? Like we'll say, of course we're going to say Giannis and Joker because they did it. You know what I mean? But what if they didn't do it? They would say, oh, maybe they don't care. So it's tough to say. I think Tatum, that was his goal.
I think that was his goal. I think Embiid hardly wants a championship too.
I think Giannis, and I think Giannis, you can say, hey.
No, Giannis and Joker, definitely. No doubt in my mind. Embiid, maybe. Tatum, I think it's almost, it's probably the Kobe thing coupled with, he's a Boston Celtic. You ain't got no choice. We don't
settle for mediocre.
Eastern Conference. If you made it to the finals or the Eastern Conference Finals, the season was a failure. This is the Celtics. You know what I mean? So,
and with Embiid, sometimes I feel like he knows that's what the Philly fans want to hear, so he's willing to put himself out there. Like, hey, I want to, I'll do anything for a championship. But sometimes I just don't believe it.
Yeah,
like, I don't think.
And that's the thing.
That's be a tough one.
Everybody could say it. So that's what I say. I kind of go by when I watch the game. You know what I mean? Because every player in the league could say, my top priority is a championship. Okay. But if, when you leave here, player A goes to the gym, you go to do, I don't know, whatever your, other interests are, then you're not showing improving that. So it's kind of like, it's very hard to say who it's very hard to surmise what is somebody's priority. You know what I mean? All you could do, but like you said, all you could do is go for sound bites. If that's what they said, that's what he said. That's what he said.
Now, let me get back to the original question. Like, Paul George, what do you? There's some teams out there that have shown interest. I believe Philadelphia.
To me, it's a championship team if he goes there.
Indiana, whatchamacallit, Orlando. I think all the Eastern Conference teams are up for grabs.
Knicks, interested in them too.
Possibly even Miami, a place like Miami, a dark horse.
I mean, all of these places will get a boost, adding them. But of a championship ilk, I can only see a few.
Will be the best fit for Paul George?
It would definitely be Philly. I don't know. I can't think of immediately championship right there type team and the contentions of it.
Yeah, I put them right there, possibly above Milwaukee, at least with them. Boston, I don't know. It depends how the other two players in the starting 5 round out. But Paul George, Maxey, and Embiid, I like my chances.
Do you think a team like New York should make a big push for Paul George?
You're gonna strip. I mean, what are you gonna get? Because it's gonna be a sign and trade. I mean, unless you because if we're gonna go on the premise of what we're saying, if he goes as a regular free agent, then sure, then they don't have to give up assets. In that case, no, it'd be great. It'd be great for the Knicks if he's gonna walk. If they're gonna do this as a business, and Ballmer's a businessman, they're gonna do a sign and trade. They're gonna strip New York. But according to some people, I mean, if it isn't Brunson or
I'm listening. If it's not Brunson, I'm listening.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk about the Knicks. The Knicks have a couple of guys that they got to worry about. Anunoby, I believe he's unrestricted.
Right.
They put out a deal, and he hasn't signed. sounds like they gave offered him a deal close to 30 a year, or if not 30 a year. I guess he was looking for either
Probably looking for 4-160.
We doing that for Anunoby?
For me, with the Knicks, it's not so much the price tag.
Mm-hmm.
I just think they overachieved.
That's going to be tough.
Where you're going to overpay for it.
Let's start there then with P. So if that's the case, fiscally, you thought that was just a special moment. You bring yourself back to the table and say, you know what? It was great. That magical ride finished. OG, what are you giving OG? I could like OG Hartenstein, because you have to be a businessman at the end, and you don't get caught up in the magic that is. You don't overpay these guys, right?
No, you don't overpay any of them to stay. None of them. Because the whole thing, we were talking about Paul George, right? You would say the Knicks season was a success,
right?
And the Philly season was a failure,
right?
But I think we all agree. If Paul George goes to Philly, that's Philly. That helps Philly more than it helps the Knicks.
I get you. So in that case, the way the Knicks should look, they should be. I guess it's two different ways. If you're not drinking the Kool-Aid, like Pete says, everyone should be up for that team to be removed. Seriously. So you should be looking at Hart, DiVincenzo. If you're talking about people like Paul George coming in,
I think the thing with the Villanova Knicks,
right,
is that they're pretty much locked in for the next season.
Yeah, but if you're talking about, say, for instance, that Kevin Durant comes across your table or Booker comes across your table.
Yeah, definitely.
It's tough because Hart and DiVincenzo are kind of like woven into the fabric of the Knicks. You know what I mean? It's weird. You almost might have a revolt if you get rid of those guys at this point.
Booker right now. I need DiVincenzo. I need Hart. I need a couple picks.
I would do it. Yeah. Because if I could have Brunson, Booker, I'm assuming I'm keeping Hartenstein, OG.
You going to sign?
I would do it. Now, would I be a fan favorite? Probably not. But
that's what I'm saying.
But I would do it. Like Booker and Brunson in the backcourt.
Yeah.
You know, I would do it. Again, the defense, but I still got OJ Hartenstein to short my defense to the back end. So,
You're taking the heart and soul from this team.
But
you're being smart. That's why.
But you can find similar players to Hart, and because basically Hart and DiVincenzo were guys that
don't have to convince me. Mo, you don't have to convince me. I'm only making that face just because I was told you can't find them. But to me, you can find them anywhere in the league. Anywhere in the league. Simply for the simple fact of, and we won't touch on it, Sacramento's re-signing their sixth man of the year. Now, if you feel about DiVincenzo or Malik Monk, I would take Malik Monk over Dante DiVincenzo. New Yorkers would probably say you're crazy, you don't watch enough. I hear that. But you can find these guys a dime a dozen.
Yeah, and so I would feel real comfortable with that trade.
I think that's a lot of. I've been through it as a Laker fan. The whole he's our guy, we molded him into our guy thing. I mean, at one point, it's so tough to actually fathom that, and I can't even get his name now. He's on Utah. Like, he was holding up trades. We got so entangled with Taylor Horton Tucker. He held up trades.
Yeah.
Because he was our guy. And you just have to be able to evaluate talent as opposed to emotion and strike when the iron's high. I think that's when you make your best deals, when people are really running high.
Yeah, you probably will never get this much value out of DiVincenzo or Hart than you can right now. And kudos to what they did. It was, like I said, it was a magical run. I'm not trying to degrade what they did. They did, but I think they maxed out. So if you want a championship, you're going to have to make some moves, because I think this is as far as this team's going to get you.
Another team I want to talk about, because you brought them up, LA Lakers. They have D'Angelo Russell out there. I think he has a player option that he hasn't opted into yet. I think it's for...
He does well for himself, so it's really well for himself.
I think it's for $18 million.
He's good enough.
That's a bargain, believe it or not.
Nice life.
Yeah.
And he can hoop, though.
That's what I'm saying.
He can hoop.
D'Lo's not my issue, so if it's re-signing, I'm definitely re-signing D'Lo.
It's not a matter of, hey, because it's not in the Lakers' hands at this point. It's in D'Lo's hands, whether he's going to opt in. And the question is, with D'Lo, his options are, hey, do I opt in and potentially become a trade target,
Right.
with the Lakers, or do I take my chances in free agency and see if I can get more than that $18 million? And it basically, I guess it will contend on the relationship he has with the Lakers as far as
Extending him.
as far as an extension, if he wants it, or if he wants to leave the Lakers.
Well, I don't think it's an extension if he wants it, because I think he's probably on that top line list of probably bait. So for me, if I'm D'Lo, I would test the free agent market. I don't like the way the Lakers are transitioning right now. JJ Redick, LeBron James. It seems the writing's on the wall that he's going to resign. You know what I mean? I don't know D'Lo's relationship with LeBron James, so I'm going to take it from the outside looking in that it's not the greatest. And that's not fair to either one of them. I'm just saying from a basketball standpoint, I don't think D'Lo is able to be – you've seen fractions of D'Lo. His defense is what it is, but I think D'Lo's a really good player. He just needs to go somewhere else in which he's not under that cloud of – I think a lot of those players there should go places leaving the cloud of LeBron James. LeBron James elevates your low players up, to status, but I think he takes away from them mentally. You know what I mean? Because he makes you feel like you should be playing at a level. Their elevation is great. They're playing above what their talent is, but he wants them at a level to which he is on equally. You know what I mean? So I don't think it'll ever be fair to any player there. So anyone that plays there is going to be rough. Coaching, and you add coaching with that too. I think he wants to coach on the same level too. When he's not at that level.
So, want to talk about the trade. Chicago Bulls traded Alex Caruso.
That's your guy. That is your guy.
Giddey?
To Oklahoma City Thunder for Josh Giddey. What do you guys think about that trade?
Okay, so you got the stench off of him.
Yeah. All jokes aside, I'm not. It's not. I'm not a fan of Caruso. I just think you guys value Caruso way more than I do. But it's a good trade. I think he's a good fit in OKC.
I think they need a backup point guard.
Yeah, because he can't. I think he was taking out the starting lineup in the playoffs. So I think he's become out of favor with that head coach anyway. And you get the controversy out of there if you're OKC. Chicago.
Who knows what they're doing?
Why would you bring him into your franchise?
Yeah, and you still have Lonzo on.
And I like Josh Giddey as a basketball player. Yeah. I think he's a good player. But with the baggage that comes with them, although it hasn't, that's a whole nother thing. It hasn't got that much attention.
Yeah.
But I don't. What does that do for you, Chicago? Maybe it's like a salary cap thing. Maybe Giddey's contract is up sooner than Caruso's. I don't know.
We have to check that too.
Yeah.
Also, Hill, you mentioned it. Sacramento Kings signed Malik Monk. Indiana Pacers signed Pascal Siakam.
Par for the course. Well,
I think those are all good signings.
Yeah, but and then par for the course. You had to. I mean,
before I move on to another segment, are there any trades out there? Any players out there that you guys are paying attention to during this time?
Yeah. It's funny. The intriguingness. What's going on with? What do you do with Klay Thompson?
Ooh.
The elephant. What do you do? I think that's one. I think the July transactions, which is going to be humorous, and I think it's going to a lot of dominoes fall in different places.
Yeah, I mean,
San Antonio has money. I mean, like if you're going to give a good point guard, an actual shooter.
And not only what are you going to do with Klay Thompson, what are you going to do with Chris Paul? Because they have a team option for Chris Paul that they can take up, but they got to do it by June 29th, I believe. With
all due respect, I don't understand why you would want Chris Paul on your team.
He wasn't too bad last year with them.
He averaged like under 10 points.
He got their second unit going.
Nah, I mean. I don't understand what he does for your team in today's NBA.
He's clearly not cheap. right? I mean, yeah, I think it's about 51.
I'm questioning if he
53.
should be in the league. You're talking about cheap.
Yeah,
I'm questioning if he's an NBA player at this point.
Then next to it, like 52 and 53 million per.
Yeah.
So, wow. San An's looking for a point guard, and they're gonna get one in the draft.
Please no.
I mean, do you walk? Do you?
I think they should pick him up in a heartbeat.
100 million. That's 50 million. 53 million added to you.
To play 18
not
minutes
at that. Not at that price. If he's gonna be, if Golden State doesn't pick up his option, I don't think he's gonna get 50 million a year. No, he's not gonna be that player.
Right.
No.
So he's cut. So who's on the hook for that money? Golden State.
No, it's a team option. So they either take it or they let it go.
But it's a guaranteed contract, right?
Guaranteed that first year. This second year is
It's a
like
team,
team
option.
option.
So if he doesn't pick it up, he's a free agent if he likes it or not.
Yeah.
I know
it's
everyone's
like,
clamoring for San Antonio to get a point guard. I feel it's almost. I don't think Wemby needs someone to give him the ball. I think he could be your point guard. Like I think he's that skilled.
Now Golden State, the thing for them is, hey, they can pick up the team option and use him as trade bait for a team like a San Antonio.
But then it turns
whether
into
you like it or
50-some
not, he has value.
But it turns into
No, that's the
50-some
thing
million.
is, I disagree. Whether I like it or not, people think he has value. I don't think he has value.
I don't think it's 50-something million. I think it's a little bit more reasonable. I think.
Yeah, we have to check that.
Yeah.
Oof.
Because I think it's more like 30-something. Like 30, to be honest.
All right, I got it. Well, we can fact check it. We can look. We can take a look.
Oh man, great career, man. He's had a great career.
I want Trae Young there.
Nah.
And no, Hill, don't do that to Wemby. Don't do that. That would be so no. Because for me to Trae Young will have to be a better player than what he is, what he's shown he can be in the NBA.
All-Star, 28 and
that's because everybody loves this. Look at his numbers, Hill.
It's not everyone what they love. Is you have besides loving it, you have to have numbers to actually match the love.
And he's inefficient, and that's what we just crucified Luka on.
Yeah, but Luke
during the finals, so like, hey,
but what does that mean? Luke
doesn't matter to me if you're averaging 28 points. If you gotta,
yeah, but what does that mean when Luka?
You're taking Luke on San Antonio, though.
Yeah, because I feel he's a better player than Trae Young.
That's not a feel. That's a fact. That's a fact. But inefficiency, we're not going to care how inefficient Luka is if he's Luka. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to care how inefficient Trae is if Trae is giving you what he is. I'm not a Trae fan, but you can't just go by the shivering and he's inefficient. Luka's inefficient. But nobody isn't though.
Yeah, no, I think Luka's more efficient
than
Trae Young. I think that's the thing.
It just depends on if you're gonna like the fit.
Yeah, I think they would be good, but I think we all, I think Wemby has the chance to be the GOAT. So I'm trying to get him a chip. You know what I mean? I don't think Trae Young is. I think if Trae Young's there, they'll be good. They might even be a playoff team.
Yeah,
but I'm thinking long term. I think there's a ceiling.
I want Trae Young more than I want Chris Paul.
Oh yeah,
the guy can't move.
Yeah,
he's
like a 39-year-old point guard. I don't know. And I've never, even in his prime, I wasn't the biggest Chris Paul fan. I respect it. 20,000 points, 10,000 assists, great career.
Right.
Great career. Well, very good career. But at this point, what? I don't understand why you would fill up a roster spot.
And the game sped up.
30 million.
30. That's not even. I mean,
Chris Paul.
Yeah, it's not a discount. It's not a discount
for the team option.
I don't think they're signing him. They're not going to.
Like I said, it is the option because he has value. There are teams that would want him and think that he would be a good fit. And whatchamacallit, they could sign him and trade him to one of those.
That's some back behind the table because for me as a GM. I would have had to spoken to you behind the scenes to make sure we're doing this deal because you're not going to hold me up there and I have $30 million. I'm going to hold this guy back. I mean, it's not bad it's a 1-year deal, I guess. It's not bad for Golden State solidifying a second team. $30 million for your backup point guard. That's starting point guard talk, but that's Mike Conley.
Yeah, again, I'm not even thinking price at this point. I'm thinking Central Ave. I'm good. I don't want to pick him up.
Interesting.
Hey guys, hit us up on social media. Let us know what you guys are thinking. What teams are you watching out for in the off season? What free agents, what players are you looking at as far as moving and trading? Hit us up on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hit that notification button so you know when the next video is coming out. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen to your podcast. And you can hit us up at WeNeeda5th@gmail.com.
That's so funny because we literally didn't think Clay could help anyone. Because we really just didn't say, like, just overlooked it and went to, like, you know what, let's go to Chris Paul, which is funny. But Clay's, no, it's going to be very funny what they do with
I think Clay has more
Clay.
value than Chris Paul, actually.
That's bad.
He can shoot, though.
Can he?
Can he?
Yes.
All right.
What can Chris Paul do?
I don't know.
Last game he played, he was 0 for 11.
Okay, he had a bad game.
He had a bad game. But if you can tell me he still can shoot, then.
Put this way, I don't know.
Bad games,
what can Chris Paul do but fake direct? Tell you where to go. Nobody need that no more. It's 2024, bro. He can't. I don't think Chris Paul can help you. I don't think he can help you. I think he's going to be at Detroit Pistons or something.
Jeez, Clay.
Tell him how you really feel.
So Clay to the Knicks and Clay to.
If I'm double team, I could kick it to Clay.
Bucket.
Chris Paul. I'm on court with Chris Paul. What can you do?
My thing is, this season, the latter half of this season, for Klay Thompson, hey, you couldn't kick it to him.
No, you could if he missed it or not.
He just not gonna make it.
He's not that bad.
He
bad.
was.
He's not that bad.
He's went from being a starter to going off the bench.
Yeah, but I think that's because
Chris Paul.
Yeah, but I
Chris Paul started the season coming off the bench.
There you go.
But my thing was, hey, that was already a foregone conclusion.
Because he's not good.
Not because they believed in their starting five.
Right.
Like,
and they had five plays better than him.
Okay, and my thing is, by mid-season, Klay Thompson had played his way off of the starting
right.
five.
He was playing bad. I definitely give you that.
So
but it's not like he can't shoot.
So we giving
just
Chris
playing bad.
Paul.
I think his plays bad.
Okay.
Right. So
slow.
we giving Chris Paul the nod because he played bad before Klay Thompson played bad.
I think Clay. I think Father
bad.
Time has gotten to
Yeah.
which is natural
both of them.
with him.
Yeah.
But I don't think he'll ever lose his shooting. I think his shooting is fine. I think he just shot worse than what we're used to Clay seeing. He shot normal. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's a testament to Klay Thompson in his career. I'll give him that. Mm-hmm. But I'm judging Father Time Clay right now and how I would pay him for a GM, not for what he did before.
Right.
Mm.
And I'm putting all that into the mix. And I'm looking at, I want a two guard. Like for now, Paul George still can move the puppies and he's still athletic. Mm-hmm. Clay he couldn't elevate before, but he was able to get in good defensive position, play angles. You know what I'm saying? Like now that plays a part into the whole, what I'm going to pay him for.
Yeah, and he can't do that anymore.
So now I'm just looking at a Chuck Berry, like a spot-up shooter. Well, I always think he'll knock it down when he's there. I haven't lost confidence in his shot. But it's if you could run up to him quick, like before. And now that quick release doesn't matter if he doesn't have that first step to be able to do stuff. So I don't know what you pay a guy like that for. Just a straight shooting guy like that. But
what you paying him, P?
I mean, it's all relative. What is the highest paid player? Like $50 million we're at now? 50,
nah, 62.
60? So I guess somewhere between 15, 25.
Okay.
I can't go more than 30. Because I think he's an average 3-and-D player at this point. And I know you say he doesn't move the puppies as well, but I think he's like an average 3-and-D player at this point. So whatever the market is for
pay
that.
him more than Covington. So I mean, you said he's clamoring at least to get what Draymond wants. You want to give him the 4 hurts me. See, the 4 hurts me. See, the 4 for him is legacy. The 2, I think the 260, people be like, that's overpaying him for. But Golden State will probably feel like it's just us telling you that we really, really love you, Clay, and we're giving you a little bit more.
Yeah, I definitely front load it. Give him less years and more money.
Right.
Yeah, I definitely would do that.
He's probably feeling like I still got it with a 4. You know what I mean? And less money. 270, I would probably say. Yikes, bro, that's rough. But it's still saying we love you, Clay.
Right, thank you.
What do you think he's worth? What would you pay him?
230. Literally 230. 230. 230. I feel bad about that too. I really do. I feel so bad. Didn't have my top 75 though. Let's make that clear. Very good player, bro. Very good. Was Paul George in your top 75? Not close. No, right?
I think
he was, right?
Yeah,
had to.
I think he's top 75.
That's good. Yeah, he's on mine.
Barely, but I think he's
on
top
mine. Oh, Clay had a way better career. It's not even close. Give me Paul George.
Yeah, it's weird. I think Paul George is probably a better basketball player, but Klay Thompson had a better career.
It won't even look that. I don't think it would be considered. Yeah. Clay.
Yeah,
that's a slam dunk, right? Clay's better career. Give me Paul George now. It's late Allen Houston stages. Like you need him. I mean, he'll just be that pull up jump shot guy.
It maybe I'm a little harsh on him from what I've saw, because like I don't think he's as good as what you guys are saying right now. Like
you don't think he's an average 3-and-D player?
He didn't show that last season. Let me put it to you like that. Like he got to the point where he was playing below average. So you think on both sides of the ball?
So you think Jaden McDaniel was like way better than him? Alexander Walker's way better than him?
Second half of last season. Right. I'm not talking about his career.
Mm-hmm. No.
I'm just second half of last season. Yeah.
What have you done for me lately? So what would you give him? I 2 for 30.
And I'd be willing to stretch it if you want to say, hey, let's show this brother that we appreciate him and love the work that he put in for us. I'd do 2 for 50.
That's interesting too that you say that. Right now, Jaden McDaniel or Klay Thompson. It depends on your needs.
And this is no knock on anyone. I think Jaden McDaniel's a good player.
But it was just like Klay Thompson at one point, it looked like he couldn't stay in front of anybody. Like on the defensive side,
he's been here a while.
And then after that, then you're not hitting your threes, like you know what I mean, on the consistent. And then you give me a couple of 0-4 games. Yeah, it's like he really earned his position on the bench this year.
I mean, I'm not worried about the 0-4. Maybe I should be, but I'm not. Mm-hmm. The defense, that's legit. Like, and that's with age, you know what I mean, and the injury. So I almost expect that. So that's legit, you know what I mean.
And see, for me, it's like I was willing to be where you at. Where hey, all right, can't stay in front of everybody. You can't be the premier defender that you used to be. Mm-hmm. Cool, but as soon as you start missing now,
if he can't knock it down,
come on now, what are we doing? And I felt like Golden State extended his leash this season as far as allowing him to really try to find his shot or show them that, hey, he had lost his shot. They gave him a lot of time to convince them that, we need to start having a conversation about putting him on a bench and let these young boys start rocking.
Give me the 2/3 on Brooklyn.
Give you what?
The 2/3 on Brooklyn. Bridges.
Anyway.
Am I going sword for sword there? Pause. Is there any way you're trading steel for steel there? Klay for Mikal Bridges?
No.
I mean,
no.
It's an insult.
No, but like I said, I think Klay is average 3-and-D.
Right.
I think Mikal Bridges is one of the best 3-and-D players in the league.
All right.
You know. Yeah, that's not close. No, today? No. Today. All time, Klay Thompson is better than
today, because I'm going to what have you done for me lately? What?
No, today's not
just
close.
like last season, he didn't know.
If I'm Golden State,
in a heartbeat.
Yo, all that loyalty thing is out the window. Bring me Mikal Bridges right now.
In a heartbeat. And that's what I'm saying. Like, hey, he played really bad last season. Like, the second half of the season going into the playoffs, it was not good.
Him Spider, no. Him Dante Vincenzo, you would. Come on.
No, I mean we're talking about today.
Yeah, today, though, right now.
I'm Michael Deavy. I'm Michael Deavy.
Oh my God!
And with, like I said, you're not talking about the career, just talking about how he played last season.
The only thing, because when Golden State had injuries, Klay, maybe he get you 17, 18 a game. When the Knicks had injuries, David T was giving like 25.
Yeah,
now, granted,
absolutely.
it's the opportunity was there and everything, but
And Golden State gave him opportunities to shine.
Malik Monk comes off the bench. Who is Sacramento's 2 guard? It's not Kevin Huerter because he comes off the bench, right?
I know the guy. He has like the braid.
Ah, okay. He's better than him.
Well, Monk's better.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Really?
All right. I'm trying to think of advantageous places that you would say that he can go to.
Orlando, maybe. Because you got to think of places where they need some type of shooting. And, you know, whether it's coming off the bench or starting. You know,
interesting. Okay. And that leads to, I guess, some of the best that leads to some coaches getting canned.
Yeah. We had a number of coaches getting fired. Monty Williams is the latest coach to get fired. We talked about it a little bit on Wednesday. He was fired with 5 years left on his contract. I believe $65 million left to be paid, which has to be paid by the Pistons. Mm-hmm. Also, we had coach hirings. LA Lakers hired J.J. Redick as their new head coach.
Coach Bud.
Phoenix Suns hired Coach Bud.
And thanks to you guys, Charles Lee. I had no clue who he was. Shout out my compadres. Boston Celtics assistant coach, I'm taking it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
Championship. Boston's.
He saw our last show. He was the top assistant coach, whatever that means. I don't know what that means. He's the top assistant coach.
And speaking of top assistant coaches, got Jeff Van
Gundy
back in the league as a top assistant coach of the
Hello.
LA Clippers.
Hello.
Yeah, bringing them on. Want to talk about the LA Lakers?
Why?
What do you think of that J.J. Redick hire?
I think it's irrelevant.
Bring back Nash. Bring back Nash then.
I just think it's irrelevant, and I don't know how you could even gauge the fit. You're asking me how is someone going to do at something they've never done? I don't know.
I like Steve Nash. I want him to coach Brooklyn. This is what this looks like.
Yeah, and you guys know where I'm at. I feel like the Lakers should have had the courage to give LeBron James the job instead of making him a puppet master. And I think that.
Well, this is his best friend. Like, to me, it's not like
you're not with the ventriloquist.
No, I'm not there. I want them to announce that, hey, LeBron James is the head coach.
J.J. Redick did not invent the light bulb. He didn't invent the film, and he didn't better it either. He didn't invent the film that's in the light bulb. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing in basketball that J.J. He didn't bring. He's not Tex Winters. He's not bringing the triangle offense to this place. He's going to regurgitate what he has learned, which every other player prior to him has learned. So what? He memorized the book a little bit more. Who's to say that any other person hasn't done the same? But it's just the results. I do not know what J.J. Redick brings or what makes him so special to why he is a fit for the Lakers.
Yeah, like did Carmelo, Bosh, and Amari turn down the job? I say that because they're all in the same high school class, the same McDonald's high school game. You know, so
and all better.
Right. So I don't understand the attraction to J.J. Redick to be your coach.
And you're going to tell me, all right, A cut here, C cut. If you've been there, how can more players do that? I want you to apply that. But with the players that you have, I want to see that work. And if that's the case, why didn't you average 30 to 35 points if you know the game so much? Mm-hmm. And you're one of the greatest shooters.
Wow.
That they claim that we've had college-wise, play college. If you apply that and you're athletic, you know what I'm saying? Why did you average what he averaged? You're that astute. Are you lazy? Because if you know the intricacies of that game, which LeBron does, and LeBron gives me what he gives me, why didn't J.J. Redick do that?
And I think that's what we were talking about earlier as far as someone saying championship or bust. You could say it, right? So in JJ's thing, you could say, you could come off with a microphone, and it seems like you know a lot, but I saw you play. Like you said, it wasn't applied when you played. Like when LeBron talks, I'm like, okay, he applied it.
Right.
When he sees certain things on the court, he could adjust in real time. We saw 10 to 15 years. Kudos for a 10 to 15-year career by J.J. Redick, but it wasn't applied. So
is it a thing of it not being applied, or for whatever reason his teams weren't talented enough to apply?
No, so it was applied. It was applied.
No,
it was himself.
He was on the team. So if his team wasn't, if his teams weren't talented enough, that means he wasn't.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's him. For me, it's the steps. You know what I'm saying? Like Ty Lue was an assistant coach. You know what I'm saying? J. Kidd. These people did steps to become coaches.
J. Kidd, I think he went straight to being a head coach.
Yeah, and I'm okay, with that because he should be able to skip steps.
Right, but see, the difference is he applied. You know what I'm saying? Like that. I'm not. J. Kidd is an anomaly that he did it, but he applied. Like J. Kidd is a great player, Hall of Famer. J.J. Redick's not. Like that makes sense. Like so, I'm saying so for the chances to see Magic got the chance. You would think that I would give Magic Johnson a chance. He was a top 5 player, maybe top 3 at that time. When he was doing the top 2 to ever do it. Yeah, I would give Magic Johnson. Look what he knew about the game. Of course, I want his knowledge about it. What the heck would J.J. Redick show me? Like, if you're a first-year coach, and excuse me for the Jason Kidd analogy, I would need something, the minimum, to be a Jason Kidd type career. He has all that wealth of knowledge. There's nothing that I can remember that J.J. Redick is giving me besides a 3-point contest shooting. I would listen to Legler before I would listen to J.J. Redick as a coach. Before, yes, I would listen to him before J.J. Redick.
In the words of T-Mac, who's Tim Legler?
Yeah, no, I get it. I get it.
Shout out to T-Mac. Shot fired back. Who's Tim Legler to criticize me?
But I would listen to him before then because he's spoken longer than this guy. Coaches, that's a different level. But this guy is the coach of the L.A. Lakers. That's insane.
Well, you can argue that, hey, with some of the players that you mentioned, Carmelo, Amari, and Bosh, that maybe they don't want to be head coaches.
Somebody tell me. I don't know. Maybe they do. Maybe they got overlooked. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
I'm taking it. Final word on the matter that you guys are not pleased with the J.J. Redick.
Oh no, I just think it's irrelevant. I don't think it matters. I think you could have got Phil Jackson or Larry Brown. The team is the team.
They're gonna be 41-40. Listen, regardless of what, they're gonna be 41-41.
Okay. Hey, hit us up on social media. Let us know what you guys think. Are you watching the coaching hirings and firings? Do you think that the J.J. Redick hiring to L.A. was irrelevant, or that they're destined to be a mediocre team at best? Hit us up on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hit that notification button so you know when the new video is coming out. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast where you listen to your podcast. And you can hit us up directly at WeNeeda5th@gmail.com. Fellas, WNBA got some news. Wow, see, what I'm working on them, America.
Inside
Forgive
joke,
them.
but not
Forgive
really.
them. Angel Reese. I'm starting to become a real big fan of Angel Reese.
Roy?
I say calm down.
Oh, Roy?
I don't think. I think she's definitely in contention.
Okay.
It's between her and Caitlin.
What's the record? Pretty bad and bad?
Yeah.
I think they're both under 5.
Pretty bad and bad.
I think
This great rookie class
I
that they
think-
tell me about.
I think the Sky are like one game under 500, and the Fever are like 2.
It just seems like as the season goes, they never pass 10 games. Are they past 10 games? Yeah, it seems like everyone's 5-4, 7-1, and I look the next week.
Yeah,
There's 3-6, 2-9. Well, not 2-9, but 2-7. Never get to pass. Like,
Yeah.
The worst thing of Groundhog's Day I've ever had to sit through.
You know,
Thank God for the draft coming up. But like you were saying, not to take away from it, Angel Reese, like you're saying, she's given, 7 straight double-doubles?
yeah, man. She just eclipsed the WNBA rookie record for double-double streaks. Number of games with consistent double-doubles. So I think last month she's been averaging about 12 and 10.
Solid. Where's Camilla?
Camilla is working her way back.
Injuries.
Working her way back into playing shape. She's been.
And Caitlin for the year.
Huh?
Not Caitlin. Cameron Brink.
Cameron Brink out for the year. ACL injury. She'll be out for the Olympics. She was on the 3-on-3 squad as well, so they'll miss her for that. So Aces. Las Vegas Aces also are the first WNBA team to sell out all their regular season home games. So that's a big thing for them. Hey, we got to get that New York Liberty game, yo. Listen, fellas.
No, because I think it's fair to make these assessments, which I'm doing. I will show up to a Liberty game. We're gonna book this. I'm gonna book it for all of us. We're gonna sit through it. I'm gonna bring a pillow.
No, how about bring your daughters so they can enjoy.
Then I have to guarantee that you guys are there, because if I'm bringing my daughters, I'm going to make sure, because 9 times out of 10 I'll probably be asleep.
Oh.
And I don't want the kids to run away from me when Child Protective Service is going to. I definitely need y'all there. But shout out to. We'll get there. We'll get there.
I'm working, America. I'm working. WNBA, see what I'm dealing with. Hey, you help me out. Up your marketing game. Maybe lower those hoops. I'm just saying. Fellas, before we get out of here, what's on the radar?
For me, casually scrolling through, I saw and we talked about this before. I'm not a big Kendrick Drake guy, but watching the Kendrick Lamar pop up, starting me to open up now to his catalog, and kid's okay. It's okay.
Not bad.
Yeah, he is. And United Oakland was a nice thing to watch.
And we're clear. Drake lost that battle.
Oh, it's over.
Yeah, it's a wrap. I think it's finished.
It's
like nothing else needs to be said.
Yeah.
Oakland, Compton, put it together. It's nice.
Okay. P, what's on your radar?
Surprisingly, I think the NBA draft. It's weird. I want to see what Atlanta does. This is like a big. They got the number 1 pick. Mm-hmm. So you see what you got Murray, you got Trae Young. What do you do? And of course the Spurs. I think they have 2 picks in the top 10. Mm-hmm. And your guy, our guy, Zach Edey. I'm very interested.
He's starting to move up now. I don't want to hear this now, because he's starting to move up now in the draft.
Yeah. So I'm interested to see where he lands. So there are some. There's no what do you call transformational player that we see in this draft or we anticipate in this draft, but. There's some interesting stories, though.
I think Lakers might have 17-9. He passed the Lakers. That's a damn shame.
Oh, that would be, yeah.
If he passes the Lakers, that is.
And it's. I think it's a talent and need, right? You have someone in the mix that's 80. I don't know why.
I prefer him at the 4. I prefer 80 at the 4. I don't know why.
Then that's perfect. Then.
Yeah, I want 80. You like him at the center?
Yeah.
I hate AD at the center spot.
Yeah.
I thought you said Edey.
Oh God, no. 80 at the 5. 80 at the 5.
Okay.
80 at the 5.
Okay.
Yeah,
I could deal with AD at the 4. Yeah.
So yeah, that's on my radar. The NBA draft. I think Wednesday.
Yeah. All right. On my radar, WNBA. I believe Liberty and Aces play tonight or tomorrow night.
They have all eyes right now. It's over. Yeah, it's done. So they should.
Also, Netflix checking out Jessica Alba. She got a trigger warning.
Yeah, no,
she isn't. I know she's done a lot of. She's like doing a lot of entrepreneurial.
Yeah,
I didn't even know she was still acting, to be honest. So I check it out. I'm a fan.
Checking that out. Yep, that's where we at. Anything else before we leave, fellas?
That's got it for me.
All right, to our 5ths. Peace.